guys. Just going to do a quick video on some classical movements and some harmonies using chord inversions. And this is just a cool little technique that you can use, and it's really easy to actually incorporate while you're improvising because the shapes that it's based off of are really common shapes. And it's just a couple notes that you're going to have to move to make it work like this. And the neat thing about this is the fact that it's going to start training your ear to hearing these types of chromatic movements while you're playing, if you like to sound like a classical guitarist, or you know, like the Baroque period of like Yngwie and those guys. So anyway, here's what it's based off of. We're going to just use two shapes, and it's going to be based from a root to a sixth, and we're going to change the sixth, or embellish it, to a major. So what I mean by that is the root is major, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which would be minor, and we're going to make it major. That way, that third is actually a chromatic step up from the root of the chord we just played. Just like that. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a C shape of this. That's why it's good to learn the cage sequence if you haven't gone over those videos of mine. And what we're doing is we're adding the third on the bass. So it goes. Minor on that last one, and we'll get into that, how you can change those just a second. So the idea to follow this chromatic thing while you're playing in your ear, your leads, this is sort of something Yngwie might do, or somebody of that, you know, genre. Just double up the notes. You know, first you're going to want to do this just to get it to where you're comfortable with it. And what you're going to do is move the first note up. So you're pretty much directly following. But a lot of people, you know, want to know tasty things that when you're playing in one key, what's one note you can change that'll make that sound good. Because then when you hear the next part, you know, and at the end there I kind of got a little harmonic minor thing, but you can continue that and keep going minor if you want. What you're going to do is just take that shape and do the same concept, but switch the shape to that. So you can kind of work around with those things, and that would all follow this. So another thing you can do with this, you can play your inverted chords a little bit differently. You can actually, this way sounds good to me, is to start with a minor. But since we're only playing these first three strings in the sixth, so what we're going to do is do something like this. And then when you move up a half step, you just turn this into like a D major shape. So if that's uncomfortable, if your hands aren't really big enough to get around, then just bar it like this. To descend on this movement, the harmony would sound weird going like that. Doesn't really seem to work harmonically, and there's a reason for that, but we're not going to have time in this video to cover it, so whoops, sorry. Here we go. To a major, and then to another major. Instead of a minor, that like an E shape minor, you're just going to raise the third up to a major third. Something you can play around with. I'm going to try and tag a couple things on here, or tackle a couple things. Working with triads as well, it works in much the same concept. If I'm trying to make a melodic line or a chromatic line, something like that, what I'm going to do is just think about how many triads, and this is a lot how chord substitutions work. For example, if I take a minor, root third fifth, root third fifth, that can also be a part of a major 7. It'd be a B flat major 7 in this case. That's a 3 5 7. So if you don't understand the theory behind all this, I suggest that you go down to a local guitar teacher or theory instructor and just take a few, years of lessons. It doesn't take that long. It's probably actually, a good 6 months to a year worth of study to understand a good concept of this stuff and apply it. Okay, so if I'm working out a chromatic line, we'll just start with a major here, because this may be more common. Root, third, fifth type thing, and that doesn't even really apply because we're just trying to find a shape to move a chromatic line, and you can even work out where you're just sharing the same note. So what am I going to do with this shape? I'm just going to use my ear like that. And then somebody might want to go, but that would be moving a whole step, so whoops. And now minor if you want right there. So let's kind of go over that little deal again. Add more notes. Sounds about like it's ready for a minor. So just kind of play around with that stuff. I think it'll really help anybody that has a good ear already, that has been playing around and they just the theory's not connecting with their ear, and a lot of times that's the problem, is your ear got way too far advanced and now you're trying to understand theory, and it's like learning Spanish and English and going, hey, that word sounds like this one but it doesn't mean the same thing. I don't get it, because you already have preconceived ideas of what you think scales are and what you think chords are, and that's what's actually hurting you. So anyway, enough rambling. Hope that works. I'll go over those riffs again real quick for you.